Hello,
Hmm.
able
Again.
to hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, Leo, I can hear you.
yeah.
People are, I need to, I'm just checking with everyone, one by one.
Okay.
It's Monday, right? People are very busy.
Busy schedule.
Yeah, no problem. We'll start anyway. And anyway, it's recording, right? We'll go and start with. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you understood, right? The basic fundamentals, why we need to go for Snowflake and what is the
Yeah,
importance of Snowflake compared to other databases.
yeah.
Okay. Today, let me explain about the high level architecture and also how to create a 4 months account. Okay.
Okay.
When I say four months account, you cannot create this 4 months account if you go with a normal process. If you go to normal process and go to Google and search for free account, Snowflake free account and all, it will redirect to 30 days account only. But how we can go and redirect to the 120 days account also, I'll show you. I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know you are able to see my screen. Let me know you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, able to.
Okay, when I talk about Snowflake, just to recap, Snowflake is a cloud database with first and foremost reason why people go with Snowflake is simplicity. The way how you can create a Snowflake account is very easy, like within like five, not even 5 minutes, in 2 minutes we can create a Snowflake account and we can start using it. So that is how simple Snowflake is. And plug and play, serverless. So all these features are making Snowflake very important for most of the enterprise companies to use or migrate. Second thing, the scalability. Scalability in the sense we can scale up to any amount of data, any number of users, and any amount of workload also. So there is no restriction that I can store this much amount of data, and there is no restriction that I can go and create this many users can access Snowflake. So it is unlimited. And the size also, if at all, as I mentioned yesterday also, if you want to increase the capacity or of compute, you do not need to go and stop any database and all here. We can independently, separately go and increase the size or increase the compute. So Snowflake will allow you even to increase the size of your compute when the queries are running. But normal traditional databases will not allow that. So the feature with Snowflake is it is a decoupled architecture. I'll explain what is the decoupled architecture. And the fourth one, flexible cost, pay as you go. So you can use and pay. There is no restriction that you need to pay any cost upfront. Snowflake will never ask the customers to pay in advance. They will offer to create the account even without any credit card. Simply create the account and then start using it and use and whatever the consumption they will try to calculate and create a monthly billing. So according to that you have to pay. And finally the single location or place for storing your data and access from multiple devices. So multiple regions and multiple people can access the data of different locations by centralizing into one particular place. And apart from this, the Snowflake is basically we can consider it as a data warehouse as a cloud. You might have seen storage as a service like S3, Google Drive, and then OneDrive, all this. You might have seen email as a service where Gmail and then Outlook, all this. You may also might have seen database as a service where you can create a database in the cloud in Azure SQL, Cloud SQL database, and then Amazon RDS. So like that, we can create a service for all these activities. Similar to that, to create a data warehouse directly, I can use Snowflake as a service. So Snowflake will allow the customers to use Snowflake without any hardware. No need to select any hardware to select and install or configure or manage. No software is required to install here. No need to configure anything. Everything will be in the cloud, and any ongoing maintenance of patching, upgrading, everything will be performance tuning, all taken care by Snowflake team in the background. You just need to use it as a product. How you access your Gmail account or a Google Drive, any kind of cloud accounts. Similar way, you can access Snowflake account by simply creating a account using your regular email. And coming to like Snowflake, we have on-premise and then infrastructure as a service and the platform as a service, and Snowflake will sit in the software as a service. So it is a software which we can go and start creating an account and register as a product. You can go and log in and start using it. And coming to like Snowflake architecture, Snowflake follows a shared disk and shared nothing architecture both. What is meant by shared disk and what is shared nothing? When I say shared disk architecture, the traditional databases like Oracle, SQL Server, these are all follow shared disk architecture. Why? Because if you observe here, in any Oracle or SQL Server or any more old RDBMS databases, they will have one storage disk and they will be connected to multiple machines here in the network. And this is down. This all will be down. Do you agree that? Generally, this is what will happen, right? In the more old RDBMS databases like SQL Server, Oracle, or any database if you see.
Basically, we called as a clusters, right?
This is a one cluster. You can see this is a storage cluster, and this will be connected to multiple clusters, right? Compute clusters.
Yeah.
And this is down means this all will be down, right? Generally.
Basically, it will be one is a primary cluster,
Correct,
another
correct.
one is a
Generally.
secondary, and the
Yeah,
failure
you need a
may
secondary
occur.
to point to. That's what I'm saying. If it is this is down, this all will be down, and I need to point to the secondary. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So which means that this is not the architecture the current modern database are following. The current modern database are following this one. This is called shared nothing architecture. What is meant by that? Every machine will have its own storage, and they are connected. Which means that even this is down, I can get the data from here. Even this is down, I can get the data from here. So this is a combination of like shared nothing architecture. So Snowflake will follow both as a hybrid here. It is a combination of shared disk plus where the storage will be like stored and shared, and shared nothing because the compute is separated. The compute is not shared here. Whatever you see here, here compute is like shared here. But here the compute is independent and the virtual warehouses are independent, and each virtual warehouse will be separated, and you can independently use it and you can get benefit of it. There is no any combined compute which you need to follow, like how here it is following. So Snowflake is a combination hybrid. You can get a multi-cluster shared disk and shared nothing architecture which will have a independent compute clusters combined into a group of virtual warehouses. A virtual warehouse represent here a group of clusters. A cluster represent a group of machines. So any query SQL statement you are running, it can be insert or delete or update or select or any kind of SQL query, even a procedure call also. Which involves SQL execution, that requires a virtual warehouse to be up and running. Without a virtual warehouse, you cannot run any SQL statement in Snowflake environment. Snowflake will prompt you. There is no active virtual warehouse running. Please try to resume it or create it. Why? Because Snowflake virtual warehouses will provide the resources like CPU, temporary storage, memory. Most of this will be required when you are running SQL query. So these virtual warehouses will provide that. We'll discuss about that in detail once you go to the virtual warehouse module. And apart from this, the Snowflake also coming up with the unique features such as like the security and data protection, where your data will be automatically compressed and stored in the Snowflake environment in the group of micro partitions. That will be automatically done by Snowflake. Along with, you can also additionally add the security like multi-factor authentication, single sign-on integration, and your data also will be, your communication also will be automatically protected by the TLS protocol. So we do not need to worry about the data security also. You heard about MFA, right? Multi-factor authentication? Or no? Do you know what is multi-factor authentication?
Yeah.
So you know, right? So we can configure MFA also to Snowflake. There is an option to integrate a multi-factor authentication also with Snowflake. And the single sign-on, like how you integrate with enterprise level LDAP. So we have tools like Okta. Okta is one of the popular software which people use for single sign-on integration with Snowflake. So at enterprise level, if you want to add a security, you can use Okta also. And the second thing is Snowflake follows a standard ANSI SQL syntax. So whatever you generally go and perform in normal traditional databases, like for example MySQL, whatever it follows is ANSI SQL. Oracle also. So whatever the traditional databases follow, the same SQL Snowflake also follows. And this particular command like the DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, and DQL, data query language, all these are same here also. There is no much difference. And you can create views, you can create stored procedures, you can create user-defined functions. Most of these features are available in even Snowflake also. So we can follow the same kind of features. But we don't have any triggers or indexes. We have sequences here. So we need to see some alternative approach for these features. And connectivity, if we say connectivity, Snowflake also allowing the customers to easily integrate with other Snowflake partners. I can easily connect with Python. There is a Python Snowflake connector library available. I can easily connect with Spark. I can easily go and connect with like Power BI or Tableau. So Snowflake is allowing to connect with other partners with a feature called Partner Connect. This Partner Connect feature will allow you to seamlessly integrate Snowflake data with other Snowflake partners and access the Snowflake data from their partners and apply any kind of data manipulation. Like I want to create a dashboard from Snowflake data, I can easily connect from Power BI to Snowflake or Tableau to Power BI. So any kind of like a BI tool can connect to Snowflake and use the data for dashboard. Even for data transformations also, I can use tools like DBT or CoolETL or Matillion, Fivetran, StreamSets. So all these tools are cloud ETL tools which can easily manage Snowflake data by creating a integration or connection. And Snowflake also coming up with features like data sharing and data masking. So to provide additional data security, so where I can directly go and mask my data at column level and row level. And Snowflake data sharing feature. So generally, when you go and share the data with other team members or other clients and customers, we use what kind of methods? What kind of methods we need to use to share the data generally to share? Assume you have a table and you want to share that table data with others. So what generally you do if you got requirement?
Basically, we can generate the flat files,
Correct.
or else we can give the CSV file into shared location.
True. Very good. So that is a
If it
physical
is a,
copy. Correct, no?
if it is a no, it won't be having a PI data.
Correct. Agreed. If it is a PA data, also sometimes people may want to see that for such kind of data sensitivity, you cannot share. Correct, no? So physical data movement, no, most of the clients are not accepting, right? So to
Yes.
avoid that, Snowflake is coming up with a feature called data sharing. So without physically transferring the data, we can share the data with other Snowflake accounts also with read-only access. That too. A data sharing feature in Snowflake will allow you to share any table or database or schema directly with other Snowflake accounts. Assume you have a Snowflake account. I have a Snowflake account. I can share my table with you also, or you can share your table with me also. But both will get the read-only access only. Simply you can
But
select. Huh.
if my case is basically I can see the, for suppose I
Huh.
need to see the only APAC region data only.
Then
That case,
row level masking will apply.
okay, row level mask. Okay.
So we will apply row level masking on the table and then I'll share the data.
Okay.
So Asia Pacific region only want to see. So what I do, I'll try to give you a role. That role will allow you to see only APAC region data. Then I'll apply this data sharing so that you can see the entire table, but you will see only the APAC region rows. You can control like that. We have features that is called data masking or dynamic data masking, and that too row level policy will apply. Okay.
Yeah.
These are all features. There are so many features fall under data governance. We'll see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the three-layer architecture which Snowflake follows. The first topmost is called as cloud services layer, the green color one, the topmost one. And this is the layer which usually we will connect. We will log in through this layer only. Actually, whenever you log in, your authentication, your role management, like what role you are authorized, all this will be verified here. The data security, transaction management, and the metadata management, infrastructure management, query optimization. Most of the activities will happen in the cloud services layer in the topmost. Once you log in into this layer, then you will come to a compute layer. Here only your actual development will be happened. Every developer will use this layer with different virtual warehouses will be up and running, and we can run your SQL queries and get your results. You can perform any kind of data manipulation in this particular second layer called compute layer, or also called as virtual warehouse layer also. So some people call it as query processing layer also. And once you come here and your data, whatever you manipulate or store, or the data will come to the storage layer. The storage layer is the centralized storage layer where your data will be stored, not like how generally we see. We can see in the form of rows and tables, but internally, how Snowflake will store the data is, it will try to divide into every table into a group of micro partitions. A micro partition means one file, a group of records with 10 records or 20 records like that. So every micro partition will have a size of 50 to 500 MB. Snowflake will decide that. So based on your number of rows and table size, Snowflake will try to divide the data into a group of micro partitions, can be 10 or 20 or 30, whatever it is. But each micro partition size also will the range is from 50 to 500 MB, which Snowflake will decide. But this data will be, the micro partitions will be not stored like rows and columns. They store in the form of column oriented. And these column oriented files also will be stored in the cloud storages. So if you select AWS while creating your account, your data will be stored in the S3 bucket. If you selected Azure while creating the account, it will store the data in the blob storage. If you select GCP, your data will be maintained in the Google Cloud Storage. So according to the cloud you selected, Snowflake will use that particular appropriate cloud. but you do not need to pay anything to that cloud storage. Snowflake will pay for them and they will charge us. Similar to that, the compute instances, like compute machines, will be maintained in the EC2 instances if it is AWS, VM instances if it is a like Azure you selected, and Google Compute instances it is a Google Cloud. So according to the cloud you selected, your account will be automatically maintained. So you can easily integrate with that particular account. And coming to like the Snowflake account creation, so this is a temporary like a template we can call it as. It is a architecture which you see Snowflake architecture where you see the data ingestion, data storage, and data analytics. A project architecture where your data is integrated with from multiple sources by using Informatica here. And after Informatica is integrating them, it is directly placing in the S3 bucket, in the red circle. And whatever the data coming into the S3 bucket, from this only you will push into Snowflake. What is meant by that? Snowflake will not allow you directly load the data into that environment. Snowflake will require a intermediate cloud storage. Here S3 bucket is one particular cloud storage, or it can be blob storage, Azure blob storage, or it can be Google Cloud Storage also. So any data which you want to load into Snowflake, you cannot directly load. You need an intermediate storage where you will store first from different sources and you will centralize that into a S3 bucket location. From the S3 bucket, we follow some other methods to load into Snowflake. That is important to understand. So no direct data loading into Snowflake, but there are some programmatically you can do, but it manually, if at all you want to load, you need to use this particular cloud storage only. And apart from this is another example of this one more project where your data is coming from a web API where Python is pulling that into a CSV format and pushing into the S3 bucket path. From here, we are trying to load the data, which is in JSON format, and we are trying to load the data which is from S3 bucket to Snowflake. We are using Matillion ETL cloud. Matillion is one of the popular tool now. Matillion ETL cloud. So this is also a cloud ETL tool which can connect to Snowflake and then load the data. And Matillion can also apply some transformations also. So whatever you do data processing, this can be done through Matillion also. And then finally, it will create some Matillion use or secure use, and that can be accessed by the BI team, business intelligence team, like Tableau or ML team, which is connected to this final semantic layer, which is called as the golden source. And before golden source, your data will travel from raw data to like staging layer to like core layer to semantic layer. So now you might have heard about the Matillion architecture, right? In the industry which is running. Did you?
Basically, I did a R&D on some of the project on the Matillion, but haven't used it.
But you heard about architecture? What is like bronze, silver, and gold?
No.
Okay, bronze is nothing but the raw layer. This one. This is a bronze layer. Generally, we call in the Matillion terminology, and the silver layer is where you will process the data. And then finally, the consumption layer we call it as a gold layer. So bronze, silver, gold. People now projects are getting divided like that everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So this Matillion architecture only most of the projects are following. So if you remember that will be good always. Okay. So finally, see, it is not like mandatory to only 3 layers. There might be some additional layers also people are adding, but those 3 are mandatory. And analytical layer also people are creating, where people can separately only connect to that layer so that they will not have access to any of this. Like visualization teams and ML teams, they don't want direct access to this particular tables or views. So what people doing, they are additionally creating one more layer here and giving access. Some people call analytical layer, some people call conformal layer, some people call it as like curated layer or visualization layer. So different names. At the end of the day, everybody will connect to that layer to consume the data. Consumers, we can call it as consumption layer. So this is how the market generally running. So now, how can I create an account? So Snowflake account setup is very easy. What I need to do? We need to go to this particular URL. This is a URL for not 30 days. This is a student account. Can you see that? Student here. A student is required to connect to a 100 days account. For example, let me show you with a normal approach. If I go with a normal approach, I'm just connecting with a normal account. I'll go to Google. I'm not using any student account. I'm simply going to Google. I'll show you what will happen if I go with Google directly. So Snowflake free trial, I'm searching and I'm saying sign up now. So you need to tell me what you can see here, what it is showing me. What is showing me?
30 days trial.
But 30 days is not I'm looking for. I want to go and create a 100 days account. But I will get the same features. So to do that, what we do, we'll directly go to the student link. Same thing here. We'll say Snowflake signup.snowflake.com / trial equal to student. Then it will automatically see what is showing me. Can you see that?
Yeah.
This is a 4 months account. If you go with 30 days account, again you need to create one more account. Every month you have to create one new account. But if you go to 4 months account, you can peacefully go and use for four months. Okay. So this is how you need to start with. So first you need to come to this page, and this page will show you what are the features Snowflake is offering here, and you will get a 100 days free account, and then $400 free credit also. To create the account, give your details. It is not mandatory that you need to give the correct details also. Give the email correctly. Okay. And then click on personal learning and development. And here, whatever the email you are giving, they will send a activation email to that email. So give the correct email here. Click on continue. And here I will give some company name. You can give any name. And here you will see the Snowflake edition also. A Snowflake edition is going to indicate what features you will receive. Standard is a very basic edition. And enterprise is standard plus it will get some extra features, and the business critical is you will get both standard enterprise all together plus business critical some additional features. So the popular one is this one, and I'll discuss about all these editions in the upcoming classes. So I'll select as of now enterprise edition, and Snowflake also prompt you to enter which cloud you want to use. So here either you can use Azure or AWS or GCP. Only 3 clouds Snowflake is offering. So whenever you select AWS, Snowflake will automatically maintain your data and your compute instances in AWS environment. If I use Azure, Snowflake will automatically maintain your compute and storage in the Azure environment. If I select GCP, your data and compute will be maintained in the Google Cloud. So I'm selecting AWS for now, and automatically selecting the region, and I am clicking on this checkbox to accept the terms and conditions and click on get started. So it will prompt you this, you can ignore, skip them, and it is creating my account, and it will finish within not even 1 minute. See, it is done. So they might have sent one email to activate. So we'll go to that email, and in that email you will get a URL. That URL you need to keep it handy. So whatever the email you received, activate your Snowflake. Can you see that? This one?
Yeah.
You will also receive a similar email, and you see a activate button and a URL here. This is important. This URL. You will also receive one more URL with unique this ID, account identifier we call it as. So this will be available up to 72 hours. After that it will be expired. So you need to click on activate and it will ask you to enter username and password. You can enter here. So you can enter any username and password as per the Snowflake username rules and password rules. So I'm giving so I gave my username and password and I'll simply click on get started. So if you observe here, it is just logged into the Snowsite interface. This is called Snowsite web interface. So here you can see $400 free credit. Can you see that?
Yeah.
The trial end in 119 days, like 4 months. So this will ensure that, confirm that you got a 4 months account with $400 credits left. And this $400 will be expired after 120 days. Or if you finish them within 2 days also, your account will be expired. In both cases. So I can finish this $400 within 2 days also. Or 3 days also. Even in that case also, your account will be expired. Or after 120 days, irrespective of how many credits you left, Snowflake will automatically ask you to upgrade. These are the two scenarios where you need to upgrade your account. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is called as Snowsite interface, and you see multiple tabs here. Projects will have workspaces which will manage your SQL and then Python worksheets, like Python notebooks, everything you can manage here. And then we also have dashboards. We can create a dashboard also to monitor your environment. And we also have Streamlit to create some applications. And the data ingestion, where you can go and directly load the data into it and create a table also here. Snowflake will allow you. Assume that I want to create a table here. I do not need to write any create table name command. I can simply click on load into table and I can upload a file and I can create a table from the file also. So simply browse it. And before loading, you can see here, these are the file formats Snowflake is allowing. Can you see that? Through interface. Through this interface, I can load, maximum file size is 250 MB, and these are all the file formats I can load. CSV, JSON, ORC, Avro, Parquet, all I can load. Only 6 file formats Snowflake is allowing, and XML. You cannot load any other file formats into Snowflake. So now I'll just upload one CSV file and I'll try to load it. So I'll go to my downloads page. And here I have one file. Go to here I have some file. And take one employee files is there, or I can take any one. Any kind of file is fine, but I'm take employee files. So it has been loaded, and I can select which database and table also. I am selecting. There is no any database. I can create that. So I'll create a demo database. So it has been created, and public is the schema, default schema. And what I'll do, I'll give some name as EMP. And then click on next. Automatically, this interface is very intelligent. It will automatically identify the type of file is CSV. Can you see that? It is very intelligent and identified that my file is a CSV file, and it also identified the first line is a header. I do not even need to inform. And there is a comma separated values. And it also identified according to the file column names, it created the table column names also. Can you see that? First name, gender, start date, everything it identified, and corresponding data types also it mapped. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this is automatically it will do. If it is a JSON file also it will identify. Parquet also it will identify. So if at all my file size is not more than 250 MB, I can use this method. Even my
If it
data
is a
is,
more than 250 MB, it's
then we need to go another method. I need to use internal stage or external stage. I'll discuss about that also.
okay.
So as of now, you understood, right? This is only for
Yeah.
the file size which is less than, it can be one file or 10 files also. The total file size should not cross 250 MB. Which means that I can load 10 files also from here, not only one file. I have 100 files, but total file size is 200 MB. I can load, right? Correct or not?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So now I simply click on load and it will create a table with name EMP in the public schema in the demo database. And which file I'm loading? This file, employee CSV. So when I click on load, it should load me 1000 rows and the 8 columns. Okay, successfully loaded this data of 1000 rows, and I can go and verify view table details and it will show me the data. Can you see that? The 100 rows, top 100 rows is showing me, and I can go and see the table got created here in the demos database public schema EMP. I can go and even run a SQL query also. How to do that? Click on this create SQL file and it will open a SQL window. And here I can go and go to the database, and this is the database, right, which we created. Public schema tables. This is the table which we have created. I can place here. When I run, so this is the data. Can you see that?
Yeah.
1000 rows. How do I know 1000 rows? You can see the index here also. See, this is 1000 rows. It took almost like very fast. Even in 1 billion rows also, it will load within fraction of milliseconds. But everything depends upon what is the size of your warehouse. Because your warehouse size will determine how fast your queries will execute. Because the number of resources will increase, your warehouse size will increase. So your warehouse size also will be with different sizes, like X small, medium, like that, like our t-shirt size. If it is a
Okay,
larger size,
based on that, yeah, it will be auto append the X small or X.
no, we can change it. If you go to a compute here, there is a compute tab. But I'll discuss all those, but let me show it high level. So there is a compute warehouses tab. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You come here and you will see there is a default warehouse which is already created by Snowflake. Compute warehouse is the default one. Snowflake created. For every account, it will be available. And this is a XML size. Snowflake created with XML size. And if at all you want to change this, you can change. Click on this and I can go and say edit and I can increase also. Can you see that?
Okay.
If you increase the size,
It
it will increase the cost also. That also you have to remember.
Yeah.
So whenever my query is very simple, I do not need bigger size, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So if my queries are very small, go with XML only. If my query involves petabytes of data, then only go with bigger size. Or
Okay.
else you
Basically,
understand.
this Snowflake will be size segregation based on the table level, not a entire database level, right?
Correct. So data, see, these warehouses also are only for compute. They're not any specific to storage and all. Storage will be done by Snowflake automatically in the background. These
Okay.
warehouses are also called as compute warehouses. See, warehouse means what here? Not data warehouse. A warehouse is a group of clusters. A cluster is a group of machines. That's it. But your data not physically, like this warehouse will be maintaining, but the warehouse is generally for compute instances. This will be the second layer. But we have one more layer where Snowflake will maintain the data called storage layer. Whatever tables you create, those are all will be connected to storage layer only. Okay.
Yeah.
Storage is always in cloud storage only. You are not going to have any transparency also on that. But you can see the data by running your SQL queries automatically. So this is the warehouse. I can go and see that, and warehouse activity also you can see today only executed and which is running now. You can see the warehouse activity also, how many guys consumed, everything it will show us. You can monitor. This warehouse monitoring can be done. Generally, admins will do that. But we can also, as a developer, we can also see that.
Okay.
If at all you want to create warehouse, you can create. So click on warehouse. I'll say demo warehouse. And I go and select maybe generation 1. And even there are types of warehouses also. I'll discuss about even this, what is the types also, once you go to the compute management module. Okay.
Okay.
So there are some advanced options available. All this I will discuss. How to get a multi-cluster warehouse, how the cluster size will impact the query execution speed. We'll see all this. So now I'm getting a single cluster warehouse. Click on warehouse. It will create. See? Can you see that?
Yeah.
So very fast. We can create anything in Snowflake interface. That is the benefit of the interface. This Snowflake interface is very advanced interface. The old interface was which I was using initially. Compared to that, this is very modern interface is very good. Many things it is automating, and it is saving the time also. When I started initially my Snowflake journey, this was not the interface. There was an interface called classic interface. Even that interface are not that much advanced. Some of the activities we need to do by running commands. But now everything is, most of the things we can automate by using this interface itself. Okay. And I can see what database is available in the database catalog database explorer here. And I can also see what are the different schemas available under this database. These are the two different schemas. If I want to create any schema, I can create. How to create? Select this, click schema. I'll say dev. A schema is a collection of objects. It can be tables, views, and then stages, pipes, whatever it is. So you can see here a schema got created. So creating databases, schemas, tables is very easy in Snowflake.
A similar kind of, we can create the schema through query as well, right?
Create schema name, simple. If I go here in workspaces and to my SQL window, see, you can do anything. That's what I'm saying. I can do through command, I can do through interface also. But interface having some limitation on some of the commands. So those commands, those particular features, you need to run through commands only. I'll tell you what are those commands also. Okay.
Okay.
See, I can even
And
say, tell me.
one more thing is, if coming to Oracle, we have a case sensitive, right? Coming to SQL Server, we don't have any case sensitive, right?
Correct.
Coming to Snowflake, it will be follow the similar
No,
like
no,
a.
no. It will not follow. We can create, for example, I'll say something like this also. I am creating one more schema. See, correct? No, I'm just running
Yeah.
this. I'm just running this. So warehouse, this saying database, I need to select. So demo, I selected. I'm just running that now. See, it created. If I go back and see in my database now, see, I got a, can you see? QS automatically it converted to uppercase only. Can you see that?
Okay.
So it is. You can, as of now, I'm pointing to QS schema. Can you see that?
Yeah.
For example, I want to change to dev schema. I'll say use schema. I'm giving in small only. Observe here.
Yeah.
But even it is small, it will consider because it is not like case sensitive. See, automatically change it.
Okay.
So it is case insensitive. So you can write in small or mixed case, whatever you want. it will allow you.
No. If I don't have any schema creation for that one,
Public
it
you can
will
use.
be,
Public schema you can use.
it's a basically coming to SQL Server or Oracle, we need to use the DBO dot, right?
Exactly.
Coming
Similar
to
to that, we
Snow-
have public schema here.
Okay, no need to use any schema. It will
No,
be
if you
checking.
don't want to create any schema, you can ignore it and you can create a public schema. You can use public schema directly also. See, my table also, it got created in public schema only, if you observe here.
Okay.
There was no schema before, like when I first created a database, right? When you create a database, automatically two schemas only will be created, information schema and public only.
Okay.
Additionally,
Public schema we can consider as a database object.
we can use. But these additional schemas, sometimes you need to create, right? To segregate your data.
Yeah, true.
Then you can create. But directly, if at all you don't want to use any schema, new schema and all, directly use public schema itself. And you can create your tables and segregate them. And the same create table, and then insert into table, and then delete from table, update table, all same commands here also. The DDL, DML, TCL means commit and rollback, and data control language. That here also we have like grant and revoke. Generally DBA will do, right?
Yeah.
But here a developer will do in Snowflake. So how to go and grant privileges and how to create the roles and what roles Snowflake is offering and how can we create some custom roles. That is also now responsibility of a Snowflake developer now. So how to do that, and that part I'll discuss in the next class.
Okay.
So, but for today, what I do, I'll share this PPT and a document on how to create this 120 days account. Please try to create it, and some of the basic commands also I'll share you. Please try to run that from the interface. If possible, try to go to the recording once again and try to load the data from the interface, how you load it. I'll share the sample file also, the employee file.
Yeah.
And then you'll get some basic idea. Clear?
Yeah, sure.
Any questions?
So far, no.
You are following, right?
Yeah.
Any specific questions you have, please ask me.
For now, is a no. Basically, it's a.
Okay. Anything.
Uh,
Anything. Tomorrow also, if you have any questions, please ask me. I'll try to answer and just clarify. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay then, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye.